Good morning. I have a couple of things today, and I don't know how much time I'm going to have, so I'm going to try to talk to you while I'm doing my quick makeup. First thing, quite a few people still ask me if I would recommend product, and somebody got really mad at me this week because I wouldn't. I still buy products that I don't like, and yes, you know, and they got very mad and said it was very lame because I wouldn't say even what I was using. What I'm using might not work for you. I don't want to talk to anybody about how to spend their money. The only thing that I would do with hair, and I told you that, was the pH balance. And I don't know if I thought I made it clear, 4.5 to 5.5. But the other thing I didn't make clear is that a lot of packaging says pH balanced, but they're balancing it to 7, because 7 is the true pH of water. But remember I said our bodies aren't 7, 4.5 to 5.5. So don't just pick up a package that says pH balance, check what the balance is. Most companies will tell you that online. Some of them have it on their packaging. If they don't, I'm immediately suspect, but that doesn't mean they don't have it. And the other thing is, you can call their customer service line. I will tell you, I've called some of the customer service lines and asked, and a couple of them have said that's proprietary information, which immediately in my mind raises a red flag that they don't want to tell you. Because if it was balanced properly for your skin, hair, and nails, they would be shouting it from the rooftops, in my opinion. So no, I won't give you any. You know, I just bought some primer as this rosy glow, and for older people, and how wonderful it would make you look. And it's not as good as the cheap stuff that I've been using. And that's what I don't want to do to you. I can tell you it didn't work for me, but what if it would work for you, and then I'd be lying to you? So, yes, you can get mad at me and you can say bad things. First of all, you're not going to hurt my feelings all that much. Second of all, oh, get a life. That's wrong. That's not nice, but it's true. Now, this is going to be an interesting hair day because last night at 11:30, when I couldn't sleep, I got up and the sides have been bothering me a little bit, the sides of my hair. So I just took a pair of scissors and chopped them off. Now, when I say chopped them off, it's not quite the same as somebody doing it with no experience, but still, I'm not sure what I did. The other thing people ask me is to talk about my diet, my skincare, and my vitamins. You guys give me way too much credit. I don't take vitamins. I will show you afterwards. I do an all-natural thing from Whole Harmony in Connecticut, and I will tell you about that only because it's an additive. It's nothing that you take anywhere else. This is my primer. This is my beautiful new primer that's rose gold and is doing absolutely nada for me. But you know what? I paid for it, so I guess I'm gonna, oh, for Pete's sakes. That's the other thing, there we go. So this place out of Connecticut that does organic, all-natural elixirs, and at the end of this I will show them to you because I can't even explain them. But I've been doing them for the last probably 3 or 4 years, and it has been unbelievable as far as keeping me healthy. So I do that every morning. I do have to take something for GERD because that's one of the reasons that I have my horrible respiratory problems. I do have a nasal spray that I do also for the respiratory problems because of postnasal drip. I don't do anything else. I do those only specific because I can't breathe. They are doing a decent job, foundation, of keeping things under control. I'm still coughing way too much. I've found out now that when I try to drink coffee, I go into spasms. I thought it was the half and half, the cream that I put in, but I went to black coffee and it didn't help it at all. So I don't know what it is in coffee, because I can drink tea, but I'm gonna have to cut the coffee out. I cough when I drink water, but the coffee is a bad thing. So at my advanced stage, you know, different things are bothering me. You know what I find putting on my makeup now? I have to be a little more careful because of the white hair, that I don't get it all in the roots, because that looks pretty ugly. A little more here. I'm trying to put a little more on. You know, I work so hard, in my mind, it takes me 5 minutes, you know that, putting on makeup. And then people are always telling me that, you know, I look so good because I don't have makeup on. And I'm thinking, my God, why am I trying so hard if you can't even tell? But I do agree, and I've said it before, I'd rather than say my skin looks good than my makeup looks good. But even my sisters talk about how it doesn't look like I have makeup on. You know, it was funny though. My sister Karen said it the other day in front of Bree, the girl that you've met, my front desk salon coordinator. And Bree said, oh no, I've seen her without makeup. She looks better with makeup on. Like, well, thank you, Bree. There's a compliment in there somewhere. We're going to do, you know, my way that I do not fuss with eyebrows. I like that somebody put up, and I had heard this before, you know, your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Stop trying so hard. I had forgotten all about that saying, but absolutely true. You'll drive yourself crazy if you try to make them both the same. And if I don't brush those out afterwards, to me they look even more fake than they are. So as far as diet, I'm more or less a vegetation. I'm more or less a vegetation. Could truer words ever be spoken? Wow. I am more or less vegan, but not by choice. You notice I added a lip liner. My lipstick, even the 24-hour stuff, hasn't been lasting all that well. So I thought I'd put on lip liner first and see if it lasts better. And it does, a little bit. The reason I don't eat meat is nothing about me being a better human being. I had my top teeth pulled 4 years ago or so, and I've never been able to comfortably chew. They're very comfortable teeth, but false teeth don't have the same grinding power. False teeth kind of mash more than grind, and because of my swallowing problems, and I think I've said, I'm not sure, my swallowing problems are because my epiglottis, that little thing right here, is stuck and won't open and close all the way. And if you're trying to chew something and swallow it, it has a habit of getting stuck and scaring the bejesus out of you. So my throat just shuts down when I try to swallow something. It's fear. It's all fear on my part. Okay, I have no idea where I was because I have a boiler man down cellar. The upstairs boiler is not working well, and he called to fill me in on the catastrophe going on. The protein I cannot swallow. It's scary. I've had to be Heimlich before, and it's not a fun idea. So I heard myself say idea. So most meats I don't eat, no matter how much I grind them up. It's my body knows, and it just will not swallow. I did chicken last night and, you know, really cut it up fine, and it's a waste of time. So there's almost never meat. Now, remember when I did that prime rib and I cut that up super, super thin, but I wanted it. So mind over matter, with a little bit of extra effort, I swallowed it. But even drinking, you know, they had to do the swallow test. You could see, and they showed me how when I swallow, there's a stutter while my throat decides whether or not it's going to accept, and then it goes down. Even water does that. So Protein, no. I've just recently added, you know, the boiled eggs back. And that will last for a while, but then I realize what eggs are, and then my brain kicks in, and then I start to gag. So we'll do that as long as we can. I love vegetables. I don't make them. And again, I have to make them so soggy that it doesn't taste wonderful. But I do, you know, like you've heard lately, I've done the cauliflower. I eat usually once a day, and it's in the evening, which I know is backwards, but I'm not hungry in the morning. And if I've found that if I eat it in the morning, then I'm hungry all day. I've heard a lot of people say that, so it's not just me being as weird as I am. My diet is nothing to be proud of. I eat soups, and again, more broth than soup. I can eat toast, but it's not good for me because I put on 5,000 tablespoons of butter, which is why I can eat it. I drink, you see the big thing of water that I carry around. I drink one of those a day minimum, but usually 1.5. So my calorie count is only from bad stuff. And when I say bad stuff, I have given up sweets. I have given up life. You know, when you get to a certain age, it's just not going to come off. But I don't eat a whole lot. What I do eat is, you know, denser in calories. Since milk seems to be a problem, and yes, I could do almond milk. I don't want to. I've tried. I'm telling you, my brain, and I think all of us, my brain goes, no, 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 that's something you don't know. So I don't eat a lot of cereal, although once in a while I can do grape nuts with a little bit of milk. The other part is, you know, carbs. I can do potatoes. I can't do rice because that has to be chewed too much and gives my throat a heart attack. So my diet is nothing to be emulated ever, ever, ever. And that's the big thing I have about this, of saying what I do, because what I do is wrong for the majority of people. It's right for me. I feel good. But it's not right for most people. So that takes care of bad diet. That takes care of no vitamins. Takes care of not doing anything special for my skin. I don't use soap on my skin, but I grew up on Ivory Pure Soap. So, you know, I'm just gifted with decent skin. You can spend, I was watching somebody on YouTube, an older woman, the other day, and she must have put 10 different things on her skin before makeup. And I thought, shoot me now. First of all, I couldn't afford it. Second of all, putting that kind of time would make me crazy. And I wouldn't be able to stand in on my face. I know everybody says how good it feels. It doesn't feel good to me. You know, this is borderline for me sometimes. All right, so I did the eyes. I did skin. You know, I'm losing track of what I'm doing as I'm speaking. Do I have an exercise routine? Yeah, it's getting out of bed. I go through spurts. I joined Planet Fitness last August, and I've been twice. But boy, every day I have good intentions. I keep saying I'm going to cancel it, and I will. But they don't let you cancel online. They're not stupid. You have to go there. And it's out of my way, which is one of the reasons I don't go there. The one I was going to is out of my way. There is one right next to the salon, and I did that for a while when they first opened, but I'm gifted with my father's metabolism, which means if you think about working out, you work up a sweat. You don't work up a glycerin, you work up a sweat. So I would go to Planet Fitness and start sweating horribly, which means shower, wash your hair, dry it over there, go over to the salon to try to put makeup on and look decent, bring extra clothes, you know, bring clothes to change into. It became an hour-and-a-half, 2-hour affair. So that lasted for a couple of months. One of my girls is trying to talk me into going back over there, but I won't keep up with it because it's a pain in my backside. You know, I'm so appreciative for all the people that have been visiting this site, because 99.9% of you are such nice people. It's amazing that we've found such a nice community here. We had a couple of people who just have to be negative, and it cracks me up. They're usually telling me how they're not negative, and they tell me that I'm wrong, and then they tell me how miserable they are, or then they show me how miserable they are. Whatever, to each their own. You know what makes me laugh too, and I know we don't always pay attention, and for some reason I sometimes think I'm the center of the universe, but when people watch something and then ask me a question about what they just watched that just got answered, and I think, did we, what? So a lot of times I just like something that we've posted after me and don't answer it again, because it would be rude when I say see above or see the video you just watched. And that's what I would do, because that would be me. Oh, how about if we take that one out too? All right, let's see what we did with the haircut. I see too much color. I bought myself a new comb. I have to get it out. I left it in my pocket. I didn't buy it. I stole it from the salon. Right, so I didn't cut the top, and I didn't touch the back. I didn't need it, but the sides were really dragging and starting to weigh me down. So I did trim those last night, and what you should see, if you see anything, is there's a little less hair here. That's good. And then the back now, where I wear it up, I just have to grab pieces. Yeah, it's plugged in. Wasn't sure I left it plugged in. And it's not anything big. I just grab them. For the most part, you can grab them without a comb. And I'm just turning that little bit. The rest of it is just putting product in it. Okay, I need a little turn right in there. And I did cut right here, because it was starting to wing out more. I want to make it wing out, not have it wing out on its own. All right, that looks like it might do it. So you know my rule. Unplug the curling iron before you keep playing. Now I have, and I can show you this because I told you we can't get it, the Company D spray that's mine with our private label, and we can't get it anymore. Back here, just up and kind of pulling it up. And then, you know, that hole in the back drives me nuts. That I always think I've done such a good job, and then I turn around to show you and it's still there. And that's embarrassing. All right, this is not making me happy right here. It's a little old lady curl to me, but that's easy to take care of. All right, let me get this down here. That's what I cut so it wouldn't be so full. Actually, I think that was okay. Looks a little shorter, but it's shorter underneath, not the top. And this cut, for people who know how to cut hair, is a disconnected cut. This is 3 inches, this is 5 inches, the rest of this is 6 inches. And they're not blended on purpose. Somebody else mentioned that once. You don't blend your haircut. No, because I don't want a blended haircut. All right, cool shot. All right, all that did was take it down a notch, which makes me happy. This is nice. That's adequate. When adequate is not a happy thing. All right, we talked about diet, vitamins, skincare. When I wash my face, I use just a makeup remover cloth with water. Very seldom do I do any more than that. If I do more than that, if I do more than that, once in a while I use a facial scrub, because my skin still has oils around here, luckily. Unplugged? Yes. Off? Yes. Isn't it like trying to take off in a 747? I have to check all the controls to make sure I didn't leave anything on. I am going to get dressed, and then I'll show you in the kitchen the couple of things that I take, and I'll tell you why. I can't vary my morning routine for you, sorry, because the first thing I do, you know, make the pot of tea. Put the pot of tea in the plastic thing, hopefully today without spilling it all over the place. That's the other thing. I don't drink bottled water. I have a Brita, and I fill that up to overflowing. Fill this thing up in the morning. And if you struggle with drinking water, this thing has been phenomenal for me because it tells you where you're at for the day, and it also gives you little things like hydrate yourself. By 1 o'clock you should be here. Amazon, and before I started using this, I did not drink water, but it keeps me on track. Then I fill up my Brita and work off that. A couple reasons. I don't have income to waste on buying bottles of water, and then you have to either recycle them or throw them away. I'm not doing that. When it comes out of the tap, it's fine. That little bit of Brita just gives you a little bit more, I don't know, comfort. But that's fine, and I can fill up a bottle and bring it with me. And I have filtered water at the salon that is in place with a filtering system for drinking. This is just a vitamin D, and it is a supposedly all natural, but it's something I got online, Nature's Answer. So I use a little bit of vitamin D because we're not an outside person. This is the thing that has kept me healthy, I think, for a couple years. It's Folk Fry Blood, Whole Harmony out of Connecticut. Plant-based, so it has in it the apple cider vinegar, horseradish, beets, different roots, turmeric, garlic, onions, raspberry, all the all-natural stuff, but it's all in one. And I take a teaspoonful every morning, and it tastes vulgar, but I've gotten used to it, and I just do a water chaser. I swear by this stuff instead of different vitamins. The other thing that I take, this is for my cough. So this is a prescription, but it's just a little something, just a tiny bit, to calm my throat down so it lets me swallow, which is kind of a good thing. The other thing that I take is also from Whole Harmony, Elderberry Calm, all organic elderberry. I don't know if it has, let's see, water, honey, lemon juice, and that's it, outside of elderberry. Elderberry is good for your nerves. And I run kind of high octane, so I don't take a lot of this. But what I found out as a female, I have a temper. I know some of you don't. God bless you if you don't. This one doesn't taste bad. I have the patience of a saint until I don't. And when I don't, and when I'm over it, vicious will come out. And vicious will just be telling somebody exactly where they can take their life and walking away. But doing the calm has made it so, take it down just that little notch. You can't feel a difference per se as much as, oh, all right, so you're being an idiot, I can walk away. I don't have to react to it. And that's a huge deal in my life. So this I take, and again, it's half a teaspoon every morning. So, you know, there are no real drugs. There's the GERD. There's the swallowing problem, but that's a problem I have to deal with. Then I take the couple of healthy teaspoons of organic stuff so that I don't have to do anything else. I'm blessed to be fairly healthy. That's not true. I'm blessed to be very, very healthy. I do exercise a little bit. I laugh about that, but you know, I'm probably not going to get back to the gym. I do walk a little. I exercise my arms every night. You know, I'd love to get rid of the bat wings or take flight, one of the two. I don't even have a preference. Actually, I think I'd rather take flight. That would be more fun. But I spend a lot of time sitting because I knit, read, and I'm sitting at the salon. So I'm nowhere near the shape I should be. I was a hiker and a runner years ago. but it would take me a little bit to get back to that. It's not off the table. I'm also lucky that I know my body well enough that I can bring it back. It's getting harder, but I can bring it back. Let me put this stuff away. I'm still doing the monk fruit. Is that what it's called? Yes. I don't like it. However, somebody had a great idea, and it was, they put it up on the under comments. So please, when you have something that you think will help, do it, because boy, that was a good idea. She said she takes her first couple of sips with no sugar, so that by the time she puts sugar in, she doesn't have to put much because it tastes sweet. So I've done that the last couple of days. It makes a difference. I'm so grateful for anything, but I'm putting the monk fruit in. I have an aftertaste in it. Nobody else says that, and it's probably right there. So this has no sugar in it. We're saying to our body, isn't this wonderful? My body's going, nuh-uh. So then a little bit of monk fruit, just a half a teaspoonful. I still would like a tiny bit of milk, which I don't know if that's a bad idea. Because when I put cream in coffee, it's bad, but that's milk. It is whole milk. I don't do 1% or fat-free. You know, I'm so sick of over the years them saying, this is good, this isn't good. Don't do this, go do this. Oh yeah, now please do that. I ignore everything. I do what my body wants me to do, or in my stubbornness, I want to do. And when it comes back in fashion, oh, and I'm fashionable. And in the meantime, yeah, a little bit of milk. I have my caffeine. You know I live on tea and water, but feel good. So that's my little update for today. I am going to work today. Mainly, well, I've got some real work to do today. I want to do some transfers on the computer. I don't work behind the chair at the salon. I never did a lot. I did it when I was younger, when I had to jump in, and there were times I did 27 haircuts a day, but few and far between. I've always done the paperwork, and where I had for 8 years or so 2 salons, that was a huge job. Even with one, it was a huge job because I had 30 employees at one point. Now we're down to like 6 employees because life is changing in this world of ours. There's still a lot of paperwork, and I'm a computer girl. I love doing that kind of work. I love using my brain as well as my hands. So I have to spend a day. There's a lot of files that I haven't looked at for the last couple of years that I really need to cull out, and that's a all-day job. So I think that's my plan today. Get into the salon, do some paperwork. The whole staff will be there today. It's a busy day, so that's always fun too. I ran in yesterday because it was Valentine's Day, just to happy Valentine's Day, and do a pit stop to tell them I love them. But today is going to be a work day. So I think that's it for today. I will check in with you again. Hope you have a wonderful day. Please, if you have good comments for me, leave them. If you have bad comments for me, you can swallow them. That would be appreciated. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.